Fans, we are back live once again on the Cheap Heat Productions podcast empire. My name is Jack Kilby, no gimmicks guy on the socials, and this is the very first episode of our new interview series. We're calling it Headed to Headbangers Ball, the great follow-up show for Flex Wrestling, their second show, coming off huge success from In the Beginning. And I thought it would be appropriate to start with the man that we have as our first guest here in Rahne, because he really put on an excellent match with Big Pat Sawyer In the Beginning. It really, in a lot of ways, stole the show, in my opinion. And I can't wait to get into his career. And he has also got a big match coming up December 6th at the Headbangers Ball. We'll get into it all, but first of all, he is known as the Hope Dealer. Cerin Rahne, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Jack. I'm doing real good. I'm excited to be here. It means a lot that you wanted to have me on.
Well, absolutely. We'll talk about your upcoming match with Colt Allen in a bit, but what motivated you to become interested in professional wrestling as a business?
So I've always loved professional wrestling since I was running around in diapers. I'm sure we'll get into it, but I'm actually in recovery from drugs, and I led a life that wasn't the greatest, but the one thing I did have constant in my life was wrestling. Me and my biological father don't really see eye to eye. We're not really involved in each other's lives. But that was the one thing that we always did together. And so it kind of really stuck with me. And then I've always loved it. But when I got the opportunity, I want to say it was in 2001, I jumped at it. I jumped at it.
Was there a moment where you went from fan to really saying to yourself, this is something that I want to get in the ring and do yourself? Because a lot of fans are passionate about the sport, but don't, for whatever reason, take that next step.
I think I've always really wanted to be a wrestler, but I wasn't. I grew up Attitudes Era. I'm 36. Oh God, I'm dating myself right now. I don't have as much gray in my beard as you, but I'm getting there.
You'll get there.
But I always grew up in the Attitude Era. So there was all the big guys. It was, you had to look like a Greek Adonis. You had to be 6 foot something, jacked. And then we got into the more PG, where you had the Rey Mysterios, you had the Garganos, you had the smaller guys who weren't 6 foot. They were 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". So at that point, I started seeing an ability that this actually might be a thing I can achieve.
Awesome. You had, training under H.C. Loke, who's trained a lot of great workers in addition to being one himself. What did that process look like for you? Was it as physically challenging as you thought it would be, or were you surprised by any aspect of that process?
I think yes and no on both aspects. I came into training to knowing it was going to be physically exhausting. It was going to be draining on the body. I was going to be sore. But I when I started, I thought I had good cardio. I ran. I went to the gym. And then I got in the ring. And ring cardio is a lot different. I'm still trying to get the hang of my ring cardio because it's difficult. But when I first started, we have a running joke that when I first started, Loke would make me puke every time. I think every time for a solid 6 months, I puked just from how hard the training was. And then it was when I stopped puking. It was like, hey, I think you're starting to get along.
Mm-hmm. Did can you talk about the first couple of shows that you did, like the breaking in stage? What was that like for you to take it from, serious fandom to all that sacrifice and blood, sweat, and puke
Mhm.
in the training process to actually going out there and working matches?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the first match I did was on a student taping at a school called UPW, Flower City Wrestling Academy. I got asked if I could go up and, kind of put somebody over, be a jobber, go in for a quick 2-minute match, and it was something else. It was invigorating, honestly. Um, and then a short couple weeks later, I had my actual first real one-on-one match with somebody named Malcolm Calloway, who was somebody I trained with. That was my first match ever. It was on. It was in. I want to say it was in a parking lot in a. I want to say it was uh, a firehouse. It was a benefit show for the firehouse, um, and it hit different. It was training was doing one thing. It was, hey, I could have a match, I could do this, that, but having that crowd involved, whether it's 200, it is invigorating when you get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I touched on your match with Big Pat Sawyer at in the beginning, and that's one thing. It was the first time that I saw you work live, but you seemed really adept at getting the crowd into the match. That psychological aspect of it, sitting in the back of the crowd and watching their reactions to a classic kind of David and Goliath battle. They really disliked you in parts, but it was almost like they were also pulling for you in a way. So you had them in the palm of your hand. Is that something that you have always been adept at, getting that crowd response? Because at the end of the day, that's basically what it's all about.
No, honestly, when I first got started, it was moves, all the moves. I can do the cool stuff. I'm going to do the cool stuff, but not really getting a hang on the smaller details. I'm still getting a hang on the smaller details. I've only been doing this about 5 years. Um, and it's been honestly been the best 5 years of my life. I've done really cool things that I never thought I would be able to do. Um, but the funny on my outside of wrestling, I actually am a counselor. So psychology kind of comes natural with me. So I try to use that when I'm working with in a match where it's like, how does this make sense? What is the human brain thinking at this moment? Um, and that helps me a lot. And I also work with Matic, who's one of my tag partners in Edge of Hope. I have Loke. I've gotten to share the ring with Colin Delaney and Cheech and Cloudy. Sorry, Cloudy, don't yell at me. And I stuttered.
That's all good.
But High Seas, they're amazing. Just being in the ring with people like that, that old term, iron sharpens iron. It helps me get these small, finer details down, so I can become my best version. I'm still getting there. I'm still far where I want to be, but I'm seeing a lot of improvement, I like to think.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it was a highly entertaining match. The moniker, the Hope Dealer, how was that chosen, and what does that mean to you in terms of your wrestling style and presentation?
Absolutely. The Hope Dealer, honestly, it came from, I post pictures, I do content on Facebook and Instagram, and I always say be a hope dealer, things like that, because my background is addiction recovery. I have November will be 12 years. I might be off a year, might be 11, in recovery. I haven't touched drugs in that long, and in a way, wrestling is part of my recovery because I have always said, I don't care if I have a platform of 5 or 5,000, I will be a mental health advocate. I will be a addictions advocate because of the stigma that we face. So that's where the Hope Dealer came from. I posted a picture and somebody, it was I think it was called the Sanctuary, was a venue I was going to work, and they posted that I was there, and they said the Hope Dealer, and I messaged Loke and I said, that's it, that's me. And it kind of, Loke always told me you'll fall into who you are in wrestling a lot of the time, and that's what happened. I fell into the Hope Dealer, and it just stuck. And as terms for style, I like to use the word perseverance because there's so many times I should have died in my life, overdoses and just a hard life. Sorry, I'm actually tearing up because it hurt. And so I use my style as a perseverance, technical brawler. Like I'm going to, whether I'm a bad guy, good guy, I'm going to hurt you because I fight like my life is on the line, because I know what it is like to fight and claw every day, and not a single person is ever going to take that from me ever again.
Excellent. As a guy that's wrestled extensively in New York State in promotions like Excite and Empire State Wrestling, has the scene there that we keep talking about, and Flex is of course at the forefront of this now, this exciting upstate New York scene that's been there for a number of years but only getting stronger. Has performing in your home area, does that influence your style or motivation in the ring?
A little bit, honestly. Wrestling in my home area is wrestling 2 hours from home. I live in a very rural area. Flex is probably the closest place I wrestle. It's 15 minutes from my house, which is awesome. But most of the time I'm going to Buffalo, I'm going to Syracuse, I'm going to Rochester. All these are good 2, 3, 4 hour drives for me. So to say that I'm wrestling at home is it's funny, honestly. But I don't think so. I think I go into wherever I'm going and I feed off of the crowd. If they're very lively, if a crowd it's very lively and they're screaming, they're behind you, it almost pushes you to be different, to do better, compared to when it's very quiet and you got to kind of pull it out of them. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Speaking of the crowd, and in the beginning, again, I noticed after the match, you were not the baby face in that match, but when you were out in the crowd, I noticed people coming up to you and wanting to talk to you and engage with you. For a heel, that's kind of an interesting situation. Do you always get that kind of connection with the audience, notwithstanding if it's not your home area or not, but they seem to react to you, which is tremendous.
Yeah, I have seen that a lot of the time. I'm with like I said, I'm with a group called Edge of Hope. It's me and 3 other gentlemen, Maddock, Jeremiah Richter, Darren Crow, and we have Foxy in there, who are all amazing individuals. But every time we come out, whether we're bad or good, we get a cheer, and we have it's cool. People like the bad guys nowadays, which is weird. They want to cheer the bad guy, and I think we're in that time and age where the good guy, bad guy dynamic is a little skewed now because of, you see the horror movies that are out there, the anti-hero, all that stuff is kind of prevalent nowadays. So I think it's kind of cool to cheer the bad guy now, which is weird.
You talked about the success that you've had in tag teams. but also singles. Do you have a preference in terms of if you could work a match on a card, would it be a tag or a single, or is it all good from your perspective?
That's a good question, because when I came in, I hated tag team. I didn't want to be a tag team guy. I hated tag team wrestling. I wanted to be the singles. I want to be the star. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. My
No worry.
computer's done, and I thought I had it plugged in. I apologize.
No worry.
I wanted to be have that glory of the singles, and then I got put in a tag team with Matt and Richter and all of them, and I found the nuance of tag team wrestling. I fell in love with it because it's a whole different story. When it's a singles, it's two men fighting, trying to win. Tag teams, it's four individuals. It's two guys trying to tell their story of how they get along, two other guys, and then they're trying to win as well. And so it's like so many more stories in tag team wrestling. So I fell in love with tag team, but if I had to pick, I don't think I could. I love doing both. I just love being, I like to be a storyteller. So any chance I can, I'll take it. But if I had to pick one, I guess I would have to go with tag, because I've grown to really love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. You touched on your frenetic, never give up style a little bit, but you've got a couple of pretty impressive finishers. Your version, the DDT, the Slumdog, Millionaire, Stunner. How did you develop those? What's the story behind your go-to finishers?
So it's interesting because wrestling, we're stealing everything nowadays. Nobody's doing anything original, really, because I mean, a DDT is a DDT is a DDT, but how you get into it, how you put that flash on it is what's making it nowadays. So I think of things like, okay, this is cool. How can I make it my own? The Stunner, I kind of fell into. I tried to learn how to do the UFO cutter that Jason Wentz does. And I couldn't. I just couldn't get flat enough. I would always land on my butt. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's a Stunner now. And it just kind of it evolved into what it is now. It's called Dark Clouds. Again, a lot of my stuff is going to be mental health related. So we all have that dark cloud. So it's where that comes from. I do a version of the Crossroads where I have them hooked. I pop them up and I spin. So I call that Soul Eater. The DDT I just started using, so I don't have the name for it. But just finding cool ways, me being the smaller guy, I have to find inventive ways to get into things, because if I go into, like you said, with Pat, I couldn't just go head on with him. He's bigger than me. He's stronger than me. I'm faster than him. So that's what I utilized.
In terms of your most, I guess, your most challenging or rewarding match to date, what would that be? And also your I guess the opponent that you had the most intense sort of chemistry with, challenging your limits, that sort of thing. Two separate questions, but they could be the same individual or individuals.
They are kind of different. So my most rewarding match, my match where I felt I really broke through and started getting something, was I actually had the absolute pleasure to wrestle Alex Shelley. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's amazing. I was so nervous. I can I swear on here?
Absolutely.
I was shitting bricks the entire time. And he looked at me and went, "You got this, man. You can do this." And he was so easy to work with. Even when I slipped up and I fell, I didn't fall, but I missed a spot during the match. He was quick to, help me through it, and he talked me through everything. And that's where I started learning how to remember things versus remembering the whole match, remembering bullet points. And that was really cool to have that experience. As for intensity, my intensity has been getting more intense lately. I would say I've got to wrestle Junie Underwood, who's an amazing talent. I got to wrestle Griffin McCoy. Again, these two are going to bring you out of your comfort zone and force you to get intense. Really testing my cardio, really testing my striking ability, because these guys will hit, and they will hit hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Flex, Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling. What got you involved in this burgeoning company that already hugely successful? Do you have goals in Flex in particular?
Absolutely. How I got involved it's pretty straightforward. Loke has been my trainer. I've been with my Loke side for the last 5 years. So when he called me up and said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Do you want to do it?" Absolutely. I didn't even let him finish the question before I said I'm in, because I have so much faith in Loke and Sean Carr and Ryan Rice. All these guys behind Flex, I have nothing but love for and all the faith in the world. So of course I want to be a part of this experience. It's been humbling to be able to be a part of something so amazing, so new, and wanted to be a part of that. But as for goals, absolutely. I know the heavyweight champions being crowned at Headbangers Ball. Best believe that I don't care who it is, Matic, Chael, Sean, or whoever. I'm coming for it, because we have Loke, we have Matic, who I've wrestled, I've tagged with, and I know what he's capable of. Chael, CXR, TJ Epics, and Chael, I have wrestled them, I want to say 50, 60, 70 times. I know what he's capable of, and he's going to push. I've wrestled Sean Carr. I've been in the ring with all these guys, and I know this match is going to tear the house down. So whoever wins that, you best believe I want to come after them, because that's the ultimate prize at Flex. Whether they add tag titles or cruiserweight or whatever, of course those will be on the radar, but the biggest prize at Flex is that title.
And that will, as the wording says there, will be a crowning moment December 6th at the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. The tickets are flying off the proverbial shelf. Go to flexwrestling.com right now and grab them, and you won't miss out. In terms of a prediction, though, for that, I know you want to be in the conversation following the crowning of the first Flex champion. Who's your money on?
That's a hard question. Everybody in that match in their own right is a worthy star. You have Matic, who's been part of wrestling and in the scene for 12 years, who is extremely knowledgeable, an amazing talent. I get the opportunity to tag with him almost every weekend, or be around every weekend and pick his brain. Sean Carr, oh my God, Sean Carr has been everywhere. So he does everything. He's a name that if you don't know, you will. And odds are, if you're from this area, you know his name. Loke, I might be a little biased here. Loke trained me, but he's one of the toughest men I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. He hits hard. He knows how to do this business and do it right. And then, of course, Chael. He's one that is up and coming. I've heard it multiple times, and I have the pleasure of traveling with him almost every weekend. So I know him as a person. He is hungry. He's up and coming. He's good. He's strong. He's fast. He's everything that you look for in a professional wrestler. So I hate to say this, Matic and Loke, but if I have to put my money on somebody, and Sean, you too, it's on Chael.
Fair pick. I have to disagree with you, though. No disrespect to any of the other gentlemen in there, but I think Sean Carr is going to win and win big. I think he got the short end of the stick in the beginning, and you talk about a guy that knows this business inside and out and has done so much in it. I think Sean Carr is going to walk away with that lovely title. But fans, you're going to want to be there. You're in Ontario, you're in upstate New York, you're in Michigan, you're in Quebec. Make the drive to the Mud Creek Ranch, and you will see history being made once again. But let's talk about your opponent at the Headbangers Ball. Colt Allen, he also came out on the short end of the stick in the beginning. How are you approaching this match? And I know you said you want to be in the conversation for titles in Flex. So you have to really make a statement in this and emphasize that, you know what, perhaps your loss was somewhat of a fluke.
Whatever, Colt. I mean, you are who you are, but you're no Pat Sawyer. I don't think you're going to come out the same way he did. He's a fun-loving guy. He comes out, he plays to the crowd, he does all of that, and I think that's his downfall. He gives a shit what the fans think, and I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm in there for a fight. I'm in there to win. I'm in there to make a name for myself, to go in that conversation for the title, and I think he's just in there to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down, sorry,
go ahead.
When it comes down to brass tacks, I can hurt a man in many ways, and I might have to show him how.
Well, fair enough. I personally respect that attitude. I think it will be a match that everyone in the building will want to pay careful attention to. There's just so much talent on this card upcoming that the competition is certainly going to be fierce, and the fans will definitely get their money's worth. What is next for you in the business in general? Do you have any dream matches or personal goals in their entirety that you're aiming for in the future?
Absolutely. Dream matches, it's anybody who's better than me. Honestly, I want to be a better version, a better wrestler than I am currently. And the only way I'm going to do that is wrestle people above me at my level and above me. I won't go anywhere if I wrestle anybody who's new, who I have to work with. I want to be that person sharpening my iron, so to speak. I want to get out there more. I want to be. I go to Jersey. I'm in New York. I go to PA. I've been to Tennessee. I want to go more. I want to go to Ohio. I want to go to Vermont. I want everywhere. I want Cerin Rahne to become a household name when it comes to independent wrestling. And I know that means I'm going to have to bust my butt a little bit more and get, eat a little healthier, get back to the gym a little bit more often, and have matches that catch attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think you're definitely accomplishing that goal, judging again by your match in the beginning, and personally looking forward to your next matchup. But fans, once again, you need to go to flexwrestling.com, get those tickets. The seating is selling out quickly, and it's definitely going to be a historic night in more ways than one, not only in terms of the first champion being crowned, as we've talked about, but this man, Big Daddy Roy, is going to get the receipt that he has coming to him, courtesy of the ECW original, the Kingpin, Angel Medina, and myself, spitting in my face in a previous encounter. He's going to get everything that he has coming to him, and I'm personally really looking forward to that one as well. What can the fans find, or where can they find you on the social medias? Where can they keep up with all that you have ongoing?
Absolutely. My Instagram is the only Cerin Rahne. My name is spelled right as you see, CerinRahne. You can find me on TikTok as Cerin Rahne. You can find me on Facebook as Cerin Rahne. If you Google my name, I'm the only thing that comes up. There's a reason I spelled and picked the name I did. If you Google me, I'm the only thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, would encourage everyone to check you out. And I want to thank you once again for coming on the show. Your opponent in the beginning will be the next guest on Headed to Headbangers Ball, Big Pat Sawyer. So fans, stay tuned to Cheap Heat Productions for all the details moving forward as to this series. And looking forward again to meeting you December the 6th.
Can't wait, Jack. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Well, fans, that's it for the first episode of Headed to Headbangers Ball Flex Wrestling. Go to flexwrestling.com, get those tickets, and stay tuned for future episodes in this series. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Cheap Heat Productions. Don't forget to hit the notification button and you won't miss any of our upcoming interviews, recurring programs, or entertainment products. Thanks again